Hey guys, welcome to the Garage. Thanks for joining me. So today we're doing a color change PPF kit on the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm just a Cybertruck owner that wants to save several $1,000s by doing this myself. And this kit is from a company called Tlyard. They have a lot of great Tesla accessories and have a lot of great accessories for the Cybertruck, but they have their own like DIY kit that they sell. And the cool thing is that they have a ton of different colors, and it's relatively affordable too. It's under like I think it's around $900 for the kit. They have all of the panels all pre-cut. They're all spaced so that there's enough room to wrap all of the corners on it, and they have a couple installation tools with it. So now my experience with PPF, I've actually done 4 other cars in the past. 3 of my other Teslas, and I did like a front end on my truck, but those were all clear PPF kits that I did, and the clear's a little easier because you don't have to worry about the edges. You can just, a lot of the panels, you can just line that up to the edge. Well, on the Cybertruck, because we're changing the color completely, we have to worry about all the edges. Now, the color that I'm doing is not too far off from the color that's currently on the truck. The color I'm doing is it's like a matte silver that we're doing. So it's gonna look similar, but it's gonna look cool. I like the matte look. I like a lot of the wraps that look matte. The advantages to doing a PPF kit is that it provides more protection. It provides protection against scratching. It's going to last longer. It's going to hold up. A lot of these kits you can expect, to last around 10 years. Whereas if you just do a vinyl wrap, those are cheaper, but it's not going to hold up as well. A couple years down the road, it could be peeling off and so forth. Around the front here, rock chips and things will really damage that. PPF, though, it's a colored PPF film, so it's thicker. It's going to provide a little more protection, a little more longevity to the truck. So that's what we're working with today. The kit that you get from Tlyard comes in 3 separate rolls and is all pre-cut. Most of the sides have a notch cut into it. This indicates the amount that you wrap around the edge of the panel. This also includes some clear PPF for the front light bar, headlights, and side B and C pillars, and the rear tail lights. The color that I chose was the matte satin liquid silver, but there are many matte, gloss, metallic, and even color change options available. To get started, I want to make sure the car is completely cleaned and washed, and I'm using a clay bar with water soap solution to get any remaining contaminants off the surface of the truck. I want to do this on the entire surface, as well as go around all of the edges where the PPF will wrap around, and make sure it's completely cleaned on the back side and the edges of all of the panels. I started with this rear tailgate panel. For my slip solution, which is what I sprayed on the panel, and on the adhesive side of the film, it's a mixture of baby shampoo and distilled water mixed in a sprayer and then sprayed generously on both areas. And then I'm able to place the panel on the car and move it around before I start squeegeeing out the water, securing it into place. These squeegees are also included with the kit. I'm also spraying this slip solution on the surface of the panel before I start squeegeeing out the water. This allows the squeegee to glide around the surface and prevents from damaging the PPF as you're squeegeeing out the water. On this door, the top edge rests right next to the top gasket, and then on the 2 sides and the bottom edge, they wrap around once the film has had a chance to dry. You don't want to be in a hurry doing this. You want to be very thorough and overlap your squeegee strokes so that you get all of the soap solution squeegeed from the top down to the bottom so you don't leave any water bubbles left behind. It's very helpful to have someone help you as you're removing the backing paper and applying the film to the vehicle. For these front quarter panels, I'm removing the fender flare trim right here, and it actually pulls off really easily. If you just get your hand behind the trim here and you pull on it, I already have it started on this side. There is a camera here that you have to be careful of. We're going to take that out with a little Torx bit driver. But you see how that just kind of popped out like that? That's pretty easy. We turn this over like this. You just take those out. That way we can remove the camera, and then we don't have to worry about like recalibrating it, anything like that. We can just screw it back in and it'll be as if nothing happened. And it is labeled right hand, so you know this is the right side of the truck, so you can't get these mixed up. Now along the perimeter, there's 10mm bolts here. I'm just going to loosen those so that way I'll be able to move this little fender piece away from the body, and that'll allow me to slip the material down behind this. All right, I ended up taking them all out, took all the bolts out. There's a couple push pins along the top and then push pins along the bottom that hook into the fender, the wheel well line. You just take those out. That way we can get this all the way off, we can get this cleaned, and we can get the film all the way down to here. Removing the fender flares and trim pieces really isn't that hard and provides for good access to getting the film down in this area. All right, we're inside the passenger side door here. We're going to take off the side view mirror. It's going to help us get this panel on the door. We just peel back this little panel right here. It reveals these 3 Torx bits. These are a T40 Torx bit, and we're just going to remove these, and then we'll be able to disconnect the electrical harness, and then we'll be able to remove the side view mirror. So side view mirrors come off pretty easily. I ended up not disconnecting the electrical harness on the side view mirrors. I was able to just loosen the mirror, and then we could simply lift it up while we were working around it and then set it back down. That seemed to be the easiest way for the side view mirrors. With these large flat panels on the Cybertruck, it really makes applying this film very straightforward and not complicated. When there is an angle in the panel, you want to make sure that you take your time and you're getting all of the slip solution squeegeed out. You want to make sure that you're leaving enough film to wrap around the edges as well, and in some cases this requires 2 people to slightly stretch the film before you start squeegeeing the panel. It does take some time for the edges to dry out before you're ready to start wrapping the edge around each panel. We applied most of the panels in one day and then waited until the next day to start wrapping all of the edges. It is helpful to place some heat to the edge when you're wrapping with a heat gun to make the film more pliable and easier to wrap around and stick to the edge. These included wrapping gloves, made the job a little easier while wrapping all of the edges. These wrapping tools also made it easier to get the film down into the different areas and crevices around each of the panels. All right, guys, the Cybertruck is all completed. I've completed the color change kit, the PPF kit. Guys, this wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Ordering the kit and having Tlyard send it to me, I was a little intimidated because I've done some PPF in the past. I'm not a pro. I've only done a few cars. But this by far was the easiest process of any of the other cars that I've done. These flat panels on the Cybertruck are very easy to work with. The hardest part is just being patient with the corners to dry. So all of the edges have to be wrapped. So you want to make sure that they're nice and dry before you start that process. So cleaning those edges, making sure they're fully wrapped over, and then using some heat with a heat gun to help them adhere to that is probably the hardest process, but it's not hard. It really is just takes time. It's just meticulous. It's very detail oriented. Now, did this turn out 100% perfect? No, I mean, there's a couple spots in the PPF where maybe like a piece of dirt got underneath there and I didn't notice till after I'd completely squeegeed out all the water and I have the panel all lined up. Those I just left there. There are a few bubbles. The bubbles you can just extract with like a small syringe or just a very, very small needle. You can poke that in there. You can push the water out, and then the hole is virtually, you can't even see it on the PPF. Also, I really like the look of this. This is a matte finish, so it's not a gloss, it's a matte. It's like a gray, kind of a silvery gray color. I like the look because it looks a lot like the interior. I have the gray interior panels dashboard on this truck, and it really is a very close match to that, so I think it has a really cool look to it. The matte finish is awesome. So far, no fingerprints on this at all, so I'm really excited that I don't have fingerprints. They're going to show up all over the door panels because with the stainless steel, that's what happens. The fingerprints are they just are all over this thing, and they're hard to get off. So guys, I would recommend doing this. I think this is definitely a DIY-able project. You can get this kit from Tlyard, for example. I think right now on the website it's around $900 for the kit. And you can order this, you can do it yourself. So for under $1,000, you can have this kit and you can do it yourself. A lot of shops are charging, from when I checked, $4,500 to $6,500. I just wasn't willing to pay that for a color change kit. I like that there's these DIY options, there's these affordable options that you can do, and it is definitely doable. You don't have to be a professional to do this, you just have to take your time, really not be rushed. I did this over the course of 2 days, so I started like in the morning of a Friday, and then by Saturday, early evening, I was done. I really wanted to make sure all of the edges were dried, so I got most of the panels down on Friday, and then Saturday I spent the day just wrapping all of those around there, and it really turned out pretty good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love the look of it. I think it makes the Cybertruck look really cool. Guys, so I want to give a big shout out to Tlyard for partnering with us, for sending this kit for us to do this. This was a really cool project. This was a lot more manageable than I thought it was. So if you're looking at doing this, I would definitely take a look at their kit, because not only is it affordable, but it's also very precise. The material is very good. It's got a lot of good features. It's going to have a lot more longevity and durability out of it. So be sure to see the link down below. There's a lot of different colors to choose from. Guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll give you kind of an update. I'm going to do an update in a couple weeks after I've had a little time to kind of, live with the wrap for a little bit, and we'll do an update on that. But guys, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.